Right now I'm opening up a 6-month-old project. It's the first game I ever tried to make. My first journey into the wonderful world of game development. It's a couch co-op fighting game inspired by my love of Stick Fight and Smash, those types of games, sitting on the couch with your friends, killing each other. A lot of fun. I put a ton of work into it and I learned a lot while making it. It's playable, has a working level editor, and even a menu system. There's only one teensy little problem. It's really, really bad. The fact that I have no music or sound effects makes any gameplay feel awkward, boring, and slow. The in-game level editor, while functional, is clunky and doesn't allow for a lot of ingenuity. The code is trash, like literally complete garbage, okay? And don't even get me started on the cleanliness of the project. I made 4 different prefabs for each colored player. Why did I not just have one prefab and change the color of the player at runtime? I don't know. At least it isn't as bad as it was. At one point, I had 4 different scripts for each different player. Why this is, I really don't know. Because the code was the same in each script. It was just copy and paste. I just had 4 different ones. This was my first project, okay? As you can see on screen, I can make a level, then save that level, export it, and then I can play it. But that's about the most impressive thing this game has to offer. I did add pickups and different gun types. And you know how I made a different player prefab for each color player? Well, I did the same thing with the bullets. Yeah, I will say, the game isn't completely awful. There's a couple guns that are pretty fun to use, like this one that shoots out a bouncy arcing bullet. You can have a lot of fun with that one, but other than that, it's pretty shit. What am I telling you? Like below if you know why I did that. Anyways, why am I telling you all this? Why am I talking about my garbage first project I made? Well, I want to remake it. And I want to vlog the whole thing. I had about 6 months of experience since I made that. A few more tricks up my sleeves. I started doing the sleeve thing way too early and it looked really stupid. I also want to add online multiplayer. So, without further ado, let's get started on this game making journey. I'm ready to push myself to my limits and make the greatest goddamn game that I can make. Let's do this thing. Yeah, remember what I said about having 6 more months of experience? Well, I completely forgot to make a character move left and right, so I'm just look that up real quick. Countless of hours later, I figured out how to get my character to move. I know, it's pretty cool. Then I jumped right into programming a jump system. After that, I figured out how to make my character rotate mid-air depending on what direction they're facing. It looks really cool, adds a lot of juice. Then I set up a little aiming system with some alien code from this old project. Please, don't. I really don't know what the direction of that game was supposed to be. I really don't. Anyways, the aiming system seems to work well, and after all of that, I feel satisfied, and I'm ready to hit the project again tomorrow. Okay, I know I said I was going to work hard on this, but I had a busy week, and I have excuses. Those don't matter, though, because it's time to get into some diddly-darn game development. I added a double jump, and combined with the rotating of Jeff, yes, I decided to call the block Jeff. I don't want to keep calling him the character or the block. That's rude. As I was saying, the double jump combined with the rotating effect on Jeff looks really cool. It definitely adds a lot of juice, and compared to how static the movement was in the first iteration of Block game, it's definitely an improvement. It was time to get into shooting, so crack your knuckles and let's jump into some cold hard American gunplay. Okay, after fixing whatever that was, I worked on the bolts a little more, and I ended up with the simple shooting solution you see on screen now. Holy shit, that was a nice alliteration. I was ready to hit the sack. I didn't do much work today. I kind of just ironed out a few weird shooting bugs. I made it so that you can't shoot if the shoot point isn't overlapping with any objects, so that you don't shoot through walls, because that's a bad thing that shouldn't be happening. The main thing I did was I imported all the stuff I needed to start working on online multiplayer. I personally use Mirror, and from what I heard, it's a lot like Unet, just much better. I also like to use the Noble Connect asset, because it gives me access to relay servers and NAT punch-throughs, which is essential for setting up connections. You want people to have to port forward from their own computers. That's one of the things I always hated about Minecraft multiplayer when you make your own server. If you want to get into multiplayer, I highly recommend using both these things. It's very easy to learn, they have very active Discord communities, and good documentation. Another nice morning in the American suburbs. What a life. Today was actually productive. Not only was I able to easily convert my single player movement script into multiplayer, but I also got everything to work first try, which is a rarity, especially in networking. I did have a little floating player problem, but that was just me forgetting to reference a game object. Then using the same method I used before to quickly turn my single player controller into multiplayer one, I got the gun controller working in just a few minutes. I wasn't shooting anything just yet, but my debug logs were firing properly, and that's all that matters. After that, I took a break and ate some dinner, then jumped right back into it. My original object pool for the bullets was very specific, so I wanted a simple, customizable, generic type one. I spent a little too long figuring out how to make it, till I just looked it up on Google. Honestly, it was way easier to get shooting working for multiplayer than I thought it would be. All I'm doing, since it's just a simple party-style, client-authoritative game, is every time a player fires a bullet, I send a message to the server with the position the bullet spawns in and the bullet's rotation. Then the server tells all their clients to make their own bullet from their own object pool at this point and this rotation. I'm going to favor shooter side on this one since it's just a party game, so if the bullet hits an enemy on the shooting client, it'll kill them. Everything worked fine except for a super weird problem that I was really confused about. Basically, since I have two instances of the game open, the code checking the mouse position on screen doesn't care if you're in a game's window or not, so it just moves the shoot point aim thing for both people. I solved this with some super glue and just added a bool so that the aiming will only work if I press a button on that instance. I'm sure there's a way I can solve this long term, but it's a problem that will only affect me in testing. No one will actually be playing the game is going to have multiple instances open, I hope. Then I got tired, went to bed, and I started editing this video. I want to thank you all for bearing with me in my first devlog. This is going to be a fun journey, and I hope to see it through. I'm planning on posting one of these every week. I just need to work on my time management skills a bit, and I should be able to pull it off. Doodles!